So the new Leatherman Arc Obsidian is out on the market. Why don't I have one, and why do I refuse to review one? Now, one of the first reasons why I refuse to buy the new Leatherman Arc Obsidian is because it doesn't make sense for this channel. Now, there are several other channels online that are making it work, but when Leatherman just changes the color on one tool, it doesn't really stir enough excitement for enough of you to really want to view the video to make the viewership versus the cost a business ratio. So I just did not think that would work for this channel. But almost $300, I did not think I could recoup my losses in making a video on that. And I did make several videos using stock photos from Leatherman's website and other stores. I still want you guys to be in the loop. I just didn't want to have to buy that myself, again, because it doesn't make business sense for me. So that's not a negative against Leatherman. It's fine if some of you collectors want to buy it, but that's the first reason that I just refuse to buy that for the channel. Now, the second reason why I refuse to buy the Leatherman Arc Obsidian is because I prefer design over color. Now, there are a lot of people who want every version of the original PST, every color choice, every country it was made in that was different. Some were made in Japan at the beginning, I think. Some people want the cap crimper. I think some of them might have had the crimper in the pliers. So they want every different version. That's fine. I have no problem if you want 100 original PSTs. That's okay. That's not me. I prefer radical different design to collectability. I really like this tool right here. This is a very cool tool. It's a pocket knife with the pliers, the Barnett multi-tool. So I think that is pretty amazing. I even like Gerber's Cable Dog. Now, I will never use this in my line of work. I'm not going to lug this huge tool right here just because there's wire cutters at the bottom. I am not involved in telecommunication, but I find it very unique how Gerber designed this right here. And at the moment, there we go. It's this handle right here, actually, how you can detach this and then use the knife. And then you can use this bit driver that actually locks into place and is 1/4 inch. I think that's really neat. I think that's a pretty unique design. Gerber knew how to make a fantastic bit driver. They just, I think for cost sake and maybe to sell it overseas, decide not to. I really don't know why they didn't, but I think that's pretty unique. And then not only that, but there are other tools like the Aqua Tech, I believe, this one right here, Aquatic Ecosystems rather, where there are different handles that you slide onto these pliers, and then you can use both sides of the pliers. So these are a cheap multi-tool, but they're fairly rare, so they get a little bit more expensive on eBay. And then, you know, I prefer actually buying a bunch of multi-tools and making my own version like I did with this one right here. Is it better than what's on the market? No, not really. It's got some quirks I need to still figure out, but I enjoy spending my money on that. Some of you have actually enjoyed watching this. That's an added bonus that I really appreciate. Now, the third reason that I refuse to buy the Leatherman Arc Obsidian will be controversial to some people. You will probably get upset, so just be aware. But it's because I still have the name budget in my channel, and I'm aware that in this economy, there are still people who have no desire to spend almost $300 on a multi-tool. Some of you need that to pay off your truck payment, your car payment, even your house payment in these times. But in the past, I have read magazines like Motor Trend. I've even read some gun magazines, and a lot of them promote the highest top of the line guns, cars, whatever tools it may be. A lot of times they're unattainable. So I'm never going to buy a $300,000 car. That's just not in my budget. I'm never going to buy a $150,000 gun. That's not in my budget. But if you talk about a $20 Signal clone on AliExpress, I can afford that. So a lot of people say, how dare you review tools from China and not talk about Leatherman all the time? Well, part of the reason is because Leatherman doesn't make their tools completely in the US. Their bits are not made in the US from what I understand. Every single plier head on a Leatherman tool, except maybe the Arc and some of the Free series, are not made in the US. They're made in Mexico. So there's even on their pouches, they very clearly say they are made in China. I think the lines get a lot more blurry. I think it's a lot harder. I would love for you to buy a used Leatherman. I think that's a great option. Not everyone wants to do that. These new options on the market are a great opportunity for some people to step into the multi-tool world, see what they like, eventually upgrade to a Leatherman. And eventually you may want to buy a Leatherman Obsidian, and that's fine if you want to do that, if you want to buy that as your great tool. But in the meantime, there are budget choices. I always want to make those available. There's both of these options from AliExpress. On Amazon, there's the Byberry, almost like the Tuxedo multi-tool right here. That's usually somewhere around $30. What a great option this is. So there are a lot of budget options. You could buy all these for far less than one of these, or even the Leatherman Arc Obsidian, which is $50 more than the original Leatherman Arc. Very important. I think I need to keep grounded in the idea to not just review collectible tools. I do at times, but I want to always intersperse that with budget options. Now, the fourth reason is almost a combination of several of the reasons that I've mentioned before, but cost versus use. Now, I am fine with spending $300, maybe even $400 if I had to on a tool that was extremely unusual, if I would use it all the time, if I would feel comfortable to use it. But that's not really the case. Even the Leatherman Arc, I don't feel comfortable in using it. I buy it to review. It makes sense because I made several videos on it, but I don't use it on a daily basis. Now, I am fine with buying a bunch of these Byberry Leatherman Surge clones. If they came out with one with wire strippers, I would probably happily pay $100, $150 and carry that all the time. I think it comes down to, with the Leatherman Arc Obsidian, all I will do is make 2, 3, 4 videos on it, and then it would just sit around like my Leatherman Arc. Now, if you carry it every day, that's totally different. I think it's great. Go ahead and buy it. But at $300, again, it doesn't make sense to me. Leatherman is counting on, I think, collectors buying it, not normal people. Again, that's okay. I know they have to make money. They're facing a lot of pressure with these really great Chinese clones, so I understand they have to keep their factories open, or their factory open. But again, for me, it really doesn't make sense to buy it. So is this a review talking about how I hate Leatherman? Absolutely not. I just bought another Leatherman a day or two ago. This is one of my new projects I'm pretty excited about on a Leatherman that I hope to share with you in the next coming months. I think this will be a huge leap forward. Some of you will get the pun right there. But I think that there is a bright future for Leatherman if they take it. I still will definitely buy Leatherman if they come out with innovative products. Right now, I think they're trying to make money, perhaps fund some more of their projects. At the moment, I'm not that interested in buying just new color changes, but that doesn't mean that I hate Leatherman. I'm done with the Leatherman. I am forsaking Leatherman forever and will never talk about them again. That's not what that means. It just means that for the moment, I prefer to focus on other tools that seem to be a little bit more innovative, that seem to be a little different. I choose to focus on a couple of projects I have going at the time. I usually always have about 3 or 4 multi-tools I'm trying to renovate, change, add, do something different to make them more useful. I actually find more interest in buying products for those. Until Leatherman comes out with something very new, fresh, and exciting, we'll just keep going on, reviewing tools, talking about mods, and doing the same pretty cool stuff that we do every week here.